Hello everybody, myself is Surjit Thakre. I am the first Indian artist who has achieved a postgraduate degree in easel painting from the Academy of Fine Arts, Repin Institute of Painting, Sculpture and Architecture in St. Petersburg, Russia. I am also the founder president of Rarix Art Club affiliated to Russian Center of Science and Culture, New Delhi. I have an experience of 40 years as a professional artist. Let us start our own painting. Decorative painting is an easy to learn painting method where the painter traces a design outline onto a painting surface. Brush strokes to give that surface decorative accents. First of all, I will draw the composition on canvas. I am using the 2B pencil to draw the basic structure of the composition. Now I am using the small flat brush to make the contour of the form. You can use soft pencil or brush to make the sketch. I am using different lines to compose the composition. One of the most important tools in defining a good composition is the concept of leading line. When you are drawing the figure, keep in mind the proportion of the figure. The human figure has inspired artists to pick up their pencil for thousands of years. Now I will draw eyes. When you draw the face, you should keep in mind the proportion of the head. If you will mark the center line with 4 ticks spread equally apart, the eyes will sit roughly on this line. I am using the curve from left to right upside here to give the dimension. A simple way of thinking of a line is to imagine a point that moves. Then I use the chordate shaped leaves in it. Leaves that are brought to the point and then turn upward at the base, forming a notch. Here I am using an oval leaf which is egg-shaped. Decoration relates to the production of beauty in art, in which the first principle to be considered is symmetry, the equal balance of two halves. The second principle is repetition. After completing the basic drawing, now it is time to think about your palette. I will start to paint here. The darkest color for it I will choose nearly almost black. Make them highlighter, middle tone and shadow. To give the shadow, I use direct black thick color. For the highlight, I keep plain canvas, and for the middle tone, I use thin color. When you apply the color on head, you have to keep in mind the shape of the head. Now come over the dress. I take the crimson and apply at the upper front side. Try bold strokes in different direction according to the form. I am using left to right, up and down, curves, horizontal strokes. First I mix crimson red and apply direct. Then I mix little darker shade and apply on the back. Keep in mind the direction of the light. Like here, the light is coming from left side. The distinction between the decorative and the fine art has essentially arisen from the post-Renaissance art of the West, where the distinction is for the most part meaningful. This distinction is much less meaningful when considering the art of other cultures and periods, where the most highly regarded works, or even all works, include those in decorative media. For example, Islamic art in many periods and places consists entirely of the decorative arts, often using geometric and plant form, as does the art of many traditional cultures. Now apply the color in the ornament. You should have lot of patience to fill the tiny shapes. The lower status given to the works of decorative art in contrast to fine art narrowed with the rise of the art and craft movement. This aesthetic movement of the second half of the 19th century was born in England and inspired by William Morris and John Ruskin. The movement represents the beginning of a greater appreciation of the decorative throughout Europe. The appeal of the art and crafts movement to a new generation led in 1882 to the English architect and designer Arthur McMurdo organizing the Century Guild for Craftsmen. he championed the idea that there was no meaningful difference between the fine and decorative arts. Many convert both form professional artists, ranks and form among the intellectual class as a whole, help spread the ideas of the movement. The influence of the art and craft movement led to the decorative art being given a greater appreciation and status in society, and this was soon reflected by changes in the law. Until the enactment of the Copyright Act 1911 only, works of fine art had been protected from unauthorized copying. The 1911 Act extended the definition of an artist's work to include work of artistic craftsmanship. What is the difference between fine art and decorative arts? Fine art is considered a visual object with no functional purpose except to be admired and contemplated as an aesthetic object. While decorative arts are also visual and aesthetical pleasing but serve a useful function such as furniture, tableware, textile, etc. According to the online etymology dictionary, the word art came into use as an English word in the 13th century, having been borrowed from the Old French in the 10th century, which means skill, as a result of learning or practice. but its earlier uses can be traced back earlier, as art originated from the Latin word artem, which meant works of art, practical skill, or business crafts. The concept that art means skill continues to today, which contributes to the ongoing debates regarding modern and contemporary art and what constitutes art. The term decorative art can be traced back to London Art and Crafts Exhibition Society 1888. Fine art is made by artists and exhibited in art galleries and museums. Fine art may consist of painting, sculpture, drawing, printmaking, photography, performance, installation, sound art, ephemeral and conceptual art, digital and video art. Fine art is also called the visual arts. Definition of fine art is always changing. For example, today many people consider Andy Warhol's silk screen Brillo boxes as art, and Italian artist Piero Manzoni's made the artist, where the artist scanned his own figure matter as works of fine art. Decorative art is also made by artists, but since they are specialized in their craft, they may be known as craftsmen and craftswomen. Decorative art includes a wide range of materials and techniques such as woodworking, metalwork, textile, and ceramics. Functional objects such as candlesticks, furniture, carpet, weaving, pottery, cutlery, and many other types of beautiful but useful objects are considered to be a part of the decorative arts. Decorative paintings is a diverse art from utilizing a variety of techniques and media to decorate functional and non-functional surfaces. Because of the systematic method employed, contemporary decorative painting is highly teachable art form. I have filled the pattern with different shades and different shapes. We fill the painting with vibrant colors. Mainly I am using warm colors in the main figure. Learning the basic brush stroke is the key to this painting method. Use thick colors to maintain the surface smooth. I am using dark brown for the skin color. Remain the strokes from left to right. You can see here the direction of the hand bent towards the focal point. addition, I am carefully defining the features of the face by adding shadow to the nose and especially under the eyes. Remember too that the shape and color of the eyebrow as well as how close they are to the eyes are nearly as important as the eyes themselves in capturing their likeness. Use the lighter shade for the forehead. Filling the white space with yellow ochre, Painting of India adopted various techniques and styles on their journey into the world of arts. There are different types of tribal and folk paintings all over India, and each of the styles are different from others. Some of the basic Indian paintings are Varli, Batik, Madhubani, miniature and many others. There are always use of nature in Indian painting. There are different types of decorative arts in India like Mehndi, Mandala design, Rangoli. After that, I come over the background. To give the harmony, I am using some forms of leaves in the background. The leaves bend towards the focal point. Apply dark hair. I am also using the branches as decoration. Renaissance attitude. The promotion of the fine art over the decorative in European thought can largely be traced to the Renaissance, when Italian theorists such as Vasari promoted artistic values. exemplified by the artists of the High Renaissance that places little value on the cost of material or the amount of skilled work required to produce a work, but instead valued artist imagination and the individual touch of the hand of a supremely gifted master such as Michelangelo, Raphael or Leonardo da Vinci. Reviewing to same extent the approach of antiquity. Most European art during the Middle Ages had been produced under a very different set of values. Where both expensive materials and virtuoso displays in difficult techniques had been highly valued. In China, both approaches had coexisted for many centuries, ink and wash painting. Mostly of landscapes was to a large extent produced by and for the scholar, bureaucrats or literate, and was intended as an expression of the artist's imagination above all. While other major fields of art including the very important Chinese ceramics produced in effectively industrial conditions, were produced according to a completely different set of artistic values. I am using some polka points to make the design more interesting and attract the viewers. To make the contrast, I will use the blue color in the background, which is complementary to crimson and orange. When background color creates contrast with the foreground colors, it makes painting more appealing. Choice of colors is very crucial. So get yourself familiarized with color wheel to know about color combinations. I am leaving white space near the focal point. At last, come and see from the distance. You will realize where to give more shade and details.